Hi guys, hope you're all well. Yeah, last couple of little checks, just make sure I've got everything ready, got my paints ready, got my paintbrush ready, and yeah, let's just check my microphone's working. If you can hear me, well, yeah, just say, oh, you can hear me. And then we'll get cracking on and we'll start painting this this mean machine. But not just any old mean machine, an orc mean machine, which yeah, I obviously absolutely love. And it sounds like things are working there, so I'm just going to put some music in my ear and yeah, we'll crack on. Hi guys, yeah, so you would have seen, well, I don't know, I posted a couple of pictures of this. Yeah, so it's obviously the mean machine, it's an orc vehicle. I can't remember which vehicle it is. So memory like a sieve. And the box and the instructions this came in I've since thrown away. So it's an orc, well, as you can see, it's an orc vehicle of some sort. Yeah, a little bit of conversion, not a whole lot. Obviously 3D printed a big old jet thruster at the back, a couple of wings, and then a few extra sort of little panels and bits and pieces. Oh, and the orc changed his head a little bit, and I've given him a huge big hat. So you might recognise this as Dick Dastardly's vehicle from the Mean Machine. Yeah, just want to have a bit of fun with it. So I've kind of already airbrushed this because there's quite a lot of sort of panels on it. So I thought I'd go doing some airbrushing since I've got an airbrush. So I have been videoing this, so when the video comes out you'll be able to see it from start to sort of finish. But yeah, I was just going to sit here, do a bit of painting. So I thought I'd see who's on, and if anyone wants to watch me paint Dick Dastardly's, well, the Orc Mean Machine. But yeah. So we've got Spooky Productions, hello there. Piper Atoms, hello to you too. Happy Monday. Yeah, Mondays. Looks like an Orc Batmobile, yeah. Well, I must admit, when I did get this, I was thinking about doing it into a Batmobile. But then for some reason, Dick Dastardly popped in my head, and I thought that'd be even funnier. So I've given him a little squig who's meant to be Muttley. But yeah, so this one, because I had to go at doing the airbrushing, it means I'm not going to be doing slap chop painting on this. So something a bit different for me. So yes, I'm going to use basically some nice sort of like solid paints to go over it. Might add some washes here and there, and probably I'm going to have a go at doing some like edge highlighting and just general highlighting. So we'll see how that goes. Right, just going to turn the music down because I've got music in my ear. It's a little bit loud, not by much, but enough that it'll bug me. So let's just turn that down a little bit. Andy, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to not slap. Well, I must admit, this is where I do have a little bit of a concern with this. If I was going to slap chop this, I'd feel very happy, very content, knowing it's going to come out looking half decent. Because I'm not going to slap chop, and I am literally going to do normal paints and try and do highlights, I do have a concern that it might not come out that good. But as I always say, it's about having fun. So I'm not even going to think about how it's going to come out. I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm going to have fun with it, and what will be will be. So yes, if I have fun with it, then that's the main thing. But yes, I normally slap chop. I just know it's going to come out looking half decent. I'm going to be happy. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this comes out. Yeah. Anyway, Carl Black, hello to you. I hope you are well. So usual thing, I'm going to be doing some filming as I go. Not sure how long this stream's going to last. Might be an hour, might be two. Really not too sure, because there's not really many colours on this. Where's my little reference picture? There it is. So yeah, so the reason I airbrush this rather than doing like the slap chop and then painting it is because most of this, as you can see, is purple. There's going to be a few bits here and there. Some of these panels I'm going to do different colours. Obviously this one's got guns, unlike the Mean Machine, although I probably had some pop-out guns. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. There's a few bits of black. There's a few bits of yellow. Wheels, black and silver. Obviously some of the weapons and the exhausts be silver. So there's not too many colours. So again, that's why I kind of airbrush this. Plus I want to have fun with the airbrush. I had to go, so I only did this morning. I changed the settings on the airbrush. Yeah, I love the airbrush. I'm no good at it, but I love using it because it's just, you get a lot of paint on in a very short time. And I say, for me, speed is generally a good thing when it comes to painting. Not other things, but definitely with painting, speed is a good quality. So is obviously coming out looking half decent, but we'll get there. Christopher Rush, hello to you. You're late. Well, not really. I've not really done much. So this was painted off camera. Well, it was on this camera, but not this camera. So yes, I'm going to paint some bits of yellow. So I've got a little reference picture. Oops, I just hit the mic. I'm not sure if you're going to get that. But yeah, so most of this, it is purple, which again is why I really want to go with the airbrush. Plus I want to get better with the airbrush, because it's a fun thing to have. It really is. So yeah, usual thing, guys. I'm not sure how many people are going to be watching. There might be loads. There might be hardly any. But if you have got like a question you want to ask me, if you can put @miniaturehobbyist in the comment, just because then on my screen it highlights it in orange. Because sometimes when I do paint, I kind of get engrossed in my painting. That's why I love this hobby. It really is. It's quite therapeutic. You sort of drift off into your own wibbly wobbly world, or I do anyway. So yeah, so sometimes I do forget to look at comments because, well, I'm sitting in my living room at a desk on my own. So sometimes, apologies, I might forget you're there, which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure. So yeah, long story short, as always, if you've got a question directed purely at me, then put @miniaturehobbyist, because it just helps me see it on the screen. But by all means, obviously, chat amongst yourselves, ask questions, because someone in the chat may know the answer to. Anyway, let's slap some paint on. Although it's not slap chop painting, but I'm still slapping paint on. Right, so I need to remember a video as well. Yeah, so sometimes this camera will get in my way, and like we've had that bit of a joke every now and then, when it goes sort of like in front of my eyes, it's like I'm in some sort of witness protection, and it's a case of you can hear my voice but you can't see who I am. It's the little things in life that make me laugh. Right, so let's just see where the camera's going to be. I'm going to hold that about there. What am I going to paint first? Oh, these fin bits, as in whale fins rather than fat fin. Right, anyway, enough waffling. I'm going to do some filming. So I'm going to show that I've spray painted it, and this is kind of how it's come out. And I'll probably say something on the video about the fact that I am now going to be painting in normal paints, no slap chopping. So I'm sure the title somewhere in this is going to say something about the fact of this isn't slap. Well, like the title I put in the thumbnail now, it's going to say somewhere that this isn't slap chopped. Right, so let's get a bit of this paint on. So yes, there's definitely going to be some highlighting done, probably some washes over the top, and yeah, good old edge highlighting. I don't know, a bit of all sorts maybe. Just going to have some fun with it. I'm just going to concentrate a little bit because obviously I'm filming. There we go. Right, yeah, I might need to move the camera so you can see more when I'm filming. Right, so it's filmed a little bit, and we can put that out of the way, and then we can go back here. Yeah, it's the @miniaturehobbyist. If there's no gaps in any of it, but nice try, Carl. Almost had it. You like what I did with the custom textured palette idea? He went to post mine the other day to Thingiverse, and since I just made the account, I had to wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, say it's, yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those simple things, and the fact that I'd never heard of one of these. You guys mentioned it in what, a video about a week or two ago, and then I made that one out of obviously odds and ends, and then people said about 3D printing one. It was like, well, yeah, because when I'm making a Blood Bowl pitch, well, I started ages ago. I 3D printed everything out for this Blood Bowl pitch. There's tons of stuff because I've made the pitch and the stadium that goes around it. Because there's so much, I started painting it, started assembling it, and in the end it was like, oh, this is hard work, and this hobby shouldn't be hard work. So that's why it's over there, part done. So that's why I've got this centre bit was made for me, to go in obviously the centre of my Blood Bowl pitch. So that's why I used that as the centre bit. And yeah, little divots for the paint, and it's obviously nice, neat, smart, small, perfect. So love it, love it. Nifty, I know, not Slapchop. Is it really me? Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, do I have an evil twin brother that stepped in? But no, yeah, not Slapchopped. So again, how this is going to come out, I don't know. Yeah, when I Slapchop stuff, I just know it's going to come out okay. But yeah, normal painting, we shall see. But then again, I could just turn this into one big old rust bucket at the end. Who knows? Because that used to be my go-to whenever I used to paint things before Slapchop. A lot of things would be rusty. Because I didn't really paint many miniatures before Slapchop. So yeah, mostly vehicles, terrain pieces, buildings, and yeah, it would all be just a complete rust bucket. Just what I'm going to go with these bits in black. So I need to be neat, but not too neat, because yeah, it's going to get black over the top. Paint hand down. Happy to see you in. Yeah, the airbrush. Yeah, it's fun. I've wanted to try one for, well, probably as long as I've had this channel, I guess. Again, I've watched lots of people using one who know how to use one, and they just make it look easy. And we all know things aren't easy unless you've given it a lot of time, practice, and just sort of learn how to get better at things. But yeah, the airbrush is just fun to use. Because say you can get so much paint on in a short amount of time. And say the other thing I like about it is the fact you can do the blending of colours over each other. I think that's just amazing how quick you can do that. So every now and then I will be using the airbrush just to just to try and improve, really. So yeah, my plans with this at the moment is just to get on base colours all over it, and then once it's fully painted in base colours, then to go over and try and do some highlights, edge highlighting. There's a fair chance there's going to be washes involved. And you never know, I might use the speed paints over the top in certain areas, because obviously the speed paints are kind of like a coloured wash. Yeah, again, I've got no real plans. I'm just playing it by ear, see how it comes out, really, and having fun. So I hope you guys are all having a good Monday. Hope everything's going well. I've had a bit of a lazy Monday, really. I've done a lot of 3D printing, so I've not actually done much myself, but I feel like I've accomplished quite a bit because I've got quite a few bits 3D printed. And that's why I thought I'd do some painting now. So I've also been having a bit of a Harry Potter day. Yeah, so far today I've watched Harry Potter 2 and 3, and I'm part way through Harry Potter 4 today. Seen them all before, but I love magical mystery, not magical mystery, well, magic, Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff. So say it's not really many colours to this. A bit of yellow, there's a few bits that are black, and then I'm going to do obviously silver for exhausts and bits. Some of these little panels on top, I'll be doing them different colours, and obviously Muttley and Dick Dastardly, be painting them as well. So the only other bits of yellow, there's a few bits on these exhausty Watsits. Yeah, the purple, that was, which one did I use? I believe in the video you'll be able to see. Yeah, I used, I don't know whether you can see it. It's Moody Mauve. Moody Mauve? Moody Mauve? Mauve. That sounds better than Mauve, doesn't it? I can't say for toffee sometimes. Moody Mauve. Mauve. You know what I mean. It's purple. Yes, there's a speed paint. Oh, these earbuds keep falling out of my ear. So I find it very difficult to paint with nothing going on, as in sound. So normally I'm watching, well, I've been watching obviously films. So yeah, so this speed paint, I put that through the airbrush. Didn't have to put any thinner in or anything with it. It goes through really nice. It's easy to clean the airbrush out afterwards. Yeah, so I did, well, so it's not slap chopped, but I did use speed paint. There you go. Susan, hello, hi, how are you? Big Daddy Dragon, so I didn't see you just come on. And who else is that? Nick Tomlin, Alexander Buchanan. I don't know, isn't he on Baywatch, isn't he? Buchanan. Yeah. Christopher Rush, even Christoph Maffeu. Again, guys, I apologise now. I am going to completely ruin everyone's name by trying to say them. Yeah, I can't speak for toffee sometimes. But yeah, I hope you're all well. Say, having a good Monday, good old start to the week. I'm off to the circus tomorrow with the kids, so I'm looking forward to that. I say, as Mondays go, I've had a bit of a lazy one. I say, I've been 3D printing. Well, basically, I've been 3D printing more of these kind of bases. Because my plan now, or my thinking is, I really enjoy making dioramas. That's kind of how this channel started, was me making dioramas. But sometimes when you make the big ones, they can take like 2, 3, 4 weeks to sort of do. And as much as I like doing the big dioramas, I enjoy making small things that I can do in 3, 4 days, as opposed to 3, 4 weeks. So I've 3D printed quite a few of these. Well, I think I'm on six of these so far I'm printing. Just a simple little base. Reason for the holes is because when this is printing, it's upside down, and if you don't have holes in it, basically that whole thing will fill up with resin, pulls on it, makes a lot of weight, and might pull it off the platform it's on. So I put the holes in it just to make it easier to 3D print. But my plan with these is I'm going to have obviously my little miniatures. I've recently bought quite a lot of bosses, like single miniatures that are bosses. So I'm going to put the miniatures on the appropriate size base that they go on. So the idea is make a little diorama with a little like back bit to it. But then the boss can obviously, on his base, can be put onto the diorama, and he'll look really nice just sort of sitting there. Or you can just pull the boss off the base and then use him in whatever game you're playing. So that's kind of my thinking behind these little things. So I think they look pretty cool, just to sort of display single figures, which can then still be used in things. So these will be available on my eBay as well. So yeah, guys, if you want to help me out and you want to obviously buy something that I've painted, made, or whatever, yeah, there's a link down below. Check out my eBay account to see what I've currently got on sale. So I've got quite a few of my kill teams that I've recently painted that I don't use. They'll be on there. And so these single little dioramas with bosses or whatever. I've got him just because I love the look of these guys. I mean, they're awesome. But yeah, I've got a lot of like bosses, whereas he's just a knight of some sort. Again, memory man, I forget everything. Yeah, I know I say I'm bad with my memory. I am shockingly bad. Deathwing Knight. There we go. That's what he is. So yeah, there's going to be 5 of them. Well, I think one of them there's a boss version I can do, so I'll probably do that. Anyway, that's sort of getting off track. Oh yeah, so guys, if anyone here has just recently joined my Patreon, thank you very much. I know a lot of people have recently joined because they want to get hold of the STL for this. What I'm going to do is, because I must admit, with my Patreon, I have been very bad. I don't post consistently. I rather go through a stage where I'm posting like almost every day, and I go for a stage where I don't post for like 6 months. So what I'm doing now, and I did one earlier on, every week on a Monday I'm going to do a short video and go through what I'm currently working on, because I'm always working on like 3 or 4 projects at a time. So if you have just recently joined my Patreon or thinking about it, yeah, every Monday on my Patreon sort of page, account, whatever it's called, I'm going to do a little update and show exactly what I'm working on for that week. So I've already gone through and mentioned all these and a few other bits and pieces on there, which is cool. Susan Jensen, hello. What's that? Okay-ish parts to fix my e-bike. Oh wow, drinking tea. Can't go on drinking tea. What happened to the video of Crazy Dave's garage diorama? Oh, is that no longer? It should still be there. So I know I did go for a stage where I took down a lot of the sprue builds because I was going to put them on a different channel, and then for whatever reason I changed my mind. I do change my mind quite a lot. But yeah, I thought I'd put them all back. I need to go through and check, because basically it was all the sprue videos. I took them all down, or not took them down, I put them as private, so they're still there, but then I thought I went through and made them all visible, but I'll have to check. Big Daddy Dragon, you love the Stomper. Yeah, I enjoyed making that Stomper all out of sprues. So the sprues, I enjoyed making things out of sprues. It just took a long time to make things, and sometimes, again, I like the odd big project, but sometimes if that's the only thing I'm doing, it does start to get a bit, I don't know, it kind of almost turns into work. I don't like work, I like to have fun, and this hobby is all about having fun. This channel for me is all about having fun, so that's why I kind of like small little projects now rather than the big projects. And anything you make with sprues is generally a big project because of the amount of time it takes to turn things into sprue goo or panels or whatever it is. So yeah, and plus I love painting now, so that's why I'm kind of doing more painting, I guess. G-Wiz's Workshop, Kill Team Legionnaires. See, that's my favourite team. That's the one, I can't quite get to them, but that's the team that I play all the time now. I absolutely love the Legionnaires. Yeah, love them. So I think the ones that I've just put on eBay are, see, I can visualise them, I can't think what they are. Go and click on the link, have a little look, because I've forgotten what they are, but there's a couple of kill teams on there already. But say, yeah, my memory is shocking. But, well, I would say the good thing, my memory's always been shocking. So I'd like to think it's not getting any worse, but if it was, I wouldn't know. But yeah, it has always been pretty bad, which is probably why at school my main subjects, or my enjoyable subjects, was, not surprisingly, art, graphic design and design technology. I like visual things. Anything we have to remember dates, times, people, places, yeah, I am no good at any of that sort of stuff. Right, so I'm just going to do all these exhausts, because I think these are the only other things that are yellows, actually. Bit of the fins, and then these, yeah, these bits at the back. So that's why I am going to do a lot of panels and bits and pieces in some different colours, and there's quite a few like metallic bits that I'm going to do, just because otherwise this really is just going to be purple, a little bit of yellow and a little bit of black. Again, apologies, I'm going to ruin your name here. Roussel Alexandrie. I'm popular in France. Oh wow. Is that because I talk funny? I'm glad I'm popular in France. I've never been popular anywhere. So yeah, guys, what are you guys all up to? And where are you from? Obviously, Roussel, again, apologies if I said that wrong, is in France. So yeah, I always like to know where you guys are and what you're doing. Especially obviously like if you're in like America or Australia, because then obviously the time difference is quite vast. So what is it here? It's 5:20 in the afternoon in the UK. It's been a lovely day. Well, as in it's not rained. So any day that doesn't rain, I think it's a lovely day. But yeah, the weather's not been too bad. To say I've only been out a little bit this morning. I for a quick little walk. Had to post. Well, funny, I had to post something to someone who bought something off eBay. So yeah, I've been out for a little bit, and then say I've watched 2 and a bit Harry Potter movies. So that kind of shows you I've been in quite a bit, because they're a good 2 hours and a bit, the Harry Potter films. So yeah. Susan's working on a big orc mech boy. Oh, cool. Oh, that kind of splattered. G-Wiz's Workshop. I love the name. G-Wiz Workshop. The Pacific Northwest in the USA. Stella, that is the meanest machine. Orc, cool. Yes, I love orcs. So for kit bashing, I think orcs are the best, just because they don't take themselves seriously. You can't kit bash anything wrong, I don't think, because they don't take themselves seriously. So you really can just sort of do what you want, which is really funny. So yes, anyone just joined, as you can see, this isn't slap chopped. I know, I must be feeling a bit ill, but it's because I spray painted the body of this. Because I say most of this is going to be purple, I thought rather than trying to brush it on, especially with these speed paint's awesome. The more detailed a miniature is, the better they work, which is why I love using them for miniatures. But when you do something bigger with flat panels, when you use speed paints, you can get a lot of, it's not necessarily brush marks, it's just where you get like a thin layer or a thick layer, and there's a lot of difference in the colour, and it can look pretty naff. So that's why I airbrushed this all on, and I wanted to have a little bit of fun with the airbrush, really. So good. Nick is painting killer can squigs in Pompey. Oh, so you're not too far from me. I'm Southern Hampshire, so not a million miles away. Carl Black's in can't even talk. Ohio in the US. So you are a million miles from me, because that is a long way. Obviously not a million miles, but Piper is in Connecticut, and you're lazy, still trying to motivate. You got some carpenter ants soon. I got to kill some. Sorry, got to kill some carpenter. Does that mean they're good at building things, or they just like eating wood? Don't know. Paint Hand Dan. Big projects take a while to edit and post as well. Yes. Well, that is the other thing, because I say on this channel I go through stages of this channel. Originally I like to try and do one video a week. Then I went for a stage of doing one video possibly every 2 weeks, and obviously this year, especially this month in more so, I'm trying to do a video every 2 days, just to see what works with the YouTube and its mysterious algorithms, analytics, and all the rest. So yeah, well, I wouldn't make a video every 2 days if it meant I wasn't enjoying it or having fun. But obviously painting miniatures, again, this is where the difference between painting miniatures and making things with sprue goo. Sprue goo, it would take me a good week to make one of anything. Painting miniatures, obviously I can do in an afternoon, especially slap chopping. So yeah, that's the reason why, again, I'm enjoying painting miniatures. But yeah, so for this month I have been trying to do a video every 2 days. It's near enough been about that, I think. But I think YouTube seems to like it. But yeah. But again, I'll only make videos that if I'm enjoying it. Which is why I say, I think for me, my favourite things to do are painting, clearly, kit bashing, and I say I want to make little dioramas of like the bosses. Yeah, looking forward to having a go at doing that. Yeah, this gets painted black as well. I was thinking about putting some masking tape around these just to get a nice crisp edge, but I've just realised that the rest of it's going to get painted black. So as much as I want to be neat, I don't need to be too neat with the yellow, because the black can just neaten it up. So yeah, so I have already finished. I have already been filming what I've done so far with this. So yeah, the video will come out, well, possibly later this week. All depends how much of this I get done, really. Because the other thing I'm going to do this week, I was sent a 3D scanner. So I'm going to be scanning my head, as obviously, well, everyone wants to scan their head. So I'm going to scan my head, and I'm going to put it on a Space Marine's body. But just to make it look more accurate, I've not got it to hand, but I've got the Voton bodies, the little dwarf people. So it's going to be a dwarf body with but Space Marine bits and my head, just so it looks a bit more accurate in height. So that should be fun. Again, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that, actually. Muriel, this is Wacky Racers Dick Dastardly. So I've changed my orc. I've given him a nice big super hat, and I've 3D printed a little squig to get to a nice decent size that can be Muttley, as well as obviously sticking on the big old booster back, sticking on the back the booster. God, I've only been live streaming for about 20 minutes and already my brain's gone to mush. Normally that happens about 2-3 hours, and that's kind of when my brain goes a bit crazy. Carl Black, again, you're getting so near with the @miniature hobbyist. It's not coming up in orange because I think you're spelling it wrong. Miniature hobby. Oh, it looks like you're spelling it right. So why is it going? I don't know. Anyway, have I found anything interesting with the algorithms and such? Yes, it makes no sense, which is a real shame because I'm quite an analytical kind of person. And when you look at the analytics on YouTube, it doesn't always make sense. As in, I could do a video. Some of my videos this month actually have done really, really well. Typically, my videos might get between, I don't know, 5,000 and 10,000 views. I've had a couple of videos this month over 100,000 views. So I've done similar videos to those videos with similar thumbnails, similar titles, and they've not got 100,000 views. So why the ones that have got 100,000 views, who knows? Or why the ones that are very similar haven't, who knows? So yeah, I try not to look too much at the analytics anymore because I used to go be nuts about it, as in just keep looking and keep looking and keep looking. But sometimes there just isn't a pattern. It really is bizarre. All I know is how good a video does in the first hour does kind of dictate how it does for the next 3-4 days. As in, if you put a video up and it gets a lot of views in that first hour, it will keep, YouTube then pushes it even more. So it will continue to keep getting some good views. But yeah, other than that, so that's the reason why I always sort of say to people, if you can stick on the notification bell, because the other thing I have noticed recently with YouTube, and that is, it depends how many viewers, or sorry, how many subscribers watch the video in the first sort of hour. So again, YouTube sees it that if a lot of your subscribers watch your video in the first hour, it'll push it out to more people. So that's why prior to the last sort of week, I put videos out at all kinds of times and days just to see which ones have more people on, really. And so far it seems like 1:45 PM UK time seems to be a good time to put a video on. So that's why I've been putting them on at 1:45. But yeah, YouTube and its analytics are quite bizarre. Well, there may well be a proper pattern that you can recognise, but at the moment I can't. Which is why I'm just doing what I enjoy. I'm having fun, and so that's the main thing. So say, it might look a little bit messy and slap happy what I'm doing, and it is. But the other part of what I'm painting is going to be black. So when I come to do the black, that's when I'll be a bit more neater and tidier. But say for the yellow, just get it on there. Yes, don't forget guys, on all my videos, if there's anything you want to see me make or do, or a different way of trying to paint, yeah, by all means always let me know on my videos. I say I don't always answer every comment, but I do pretty much read most comments, just to see what people really want, I guess. Again, that kind of comes down to the old the YouTube algorithms, analytics. That when you have got quite a few subscribers, or subscribers in general, when lots of them watch a video, YouTube obviously like it. So it's not worth me now making a video on, well, cooking, because not many of my subscribers would watch it, so then YouTube wouldn't push it out. So that's why I'm always asking, what do you guys want? Because then if it is something that I'd want to do, then I'll happily do it, because it will help, help my channel grow. Right, nearly all done. Yes, other thing about the patron, say, because I didn't realise how easy it was just to attach STLs. Because I'm sure I looked into it before, and yeah, it was kind of almost impossible. So yeah, so not every month, but every time I make things and change things and adapt things, like as in I make my own STLs, I will be posting them on or putting them on my Patreon for people to just download. So that's on there. I'm going to put on the pot holder that I've got. This was from Thingiverse, but I've changed it a little bit. And the same with my with these sort of bases that I'm kind of making for the figures, although his head's just dropped off. Yeah, so I'm going to put that on my Patreon page as well. Right, so I've got some paint on me mat. Even though this obviously is a big like cutting mat, I don't want it to get dirty. So I really like it. So this is from Army Painter, and this cutting mat isn't one you can actually buy. So I kind of like kindly asked them if they'd send me it. Obviously sort of saying that it'll be seen in most of my videos and it'll help possibly push people towards their paints and stuff. So yeah, but the thing is though, I don't want it to get dirty, so I'm constantly trying to clean it. Or what I have done is I've got a small A4 mat that I put on here when I'm doing something that's going to be messy, just so I don't get this mat this mat dirty. Gianluca Forcolin, again I probably butchered your name, I apologise. Italian viewer, currently based in the Netherlands. Okay, you move about a bit. Just got into the hobby 2 months ago. Orcs, love orcs. You the Zenithal contrast paint, cool. I want to make your go-tos for inspo. Oh, awesome! That's really nice to know. That is cool. Yeah, orcs are the best. So with orcs, they're more vibrant. So Space Marines, I love the look of Space Marines, but they do seem to like lack in colour. Obviously, I know you can just change them up. You can do what you want, but in general, yeah, Space Marines being obviously mostly one colour with a few bits of silver or cloak colours, whereas orcs are just full of colour. Yeah. Nick's got a beer hammer night coming up for your birthday in your daughter-in-law's pub. Oh, awesome! That sounds cool. Where's that then? Anywhere local to me? I'll pop down. A beer hammer night. Could that be same as like beer kill team night? Because that'd be quite cool. Or I've seen some like gaming shops that are. Well, there's one. I think it's up north somewhere though, as in where I am up north, sort of Newcastle, Sunderland, maybe even Scotland. And it's a pub that has like a big room where you can do the old wargaming, which just seems. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but it just seems fun that you could go down to your local pub or this pub, and yeah, have a pint and play games, which just seems really cool. Because it works. You picked up a set of Army Painter speed paints. Oh, awesome! Oh, cool. So I'll have to let Army Painter know that at least one person who's watched my channel has gone there to buy paints. Because I have quite a good working relationship with Army Painter, as in they send me quite a lot of paints and stuff, which is really, really good. So it's nice knowing that people do go there after sort of seeing, well, stuff here really. Paint Hand Dan, I just like hanging out. You'd watch me cook. But if it got viewers, I'd cook. Nick, artillery arms in Portsmouth. See, Portsmouth is 20 minutes. 20 minutes, half an hour away you are. Artillery arms. Right, I don't know, I'm going to see exactly how far that is from me. I've got a picture up. Where's the map? Oh, directions. Right. Well, one thing I must admit, obviously whenever I use the speed paints, your brush doesn't really dry out. When you use normal paints, it dries out quite quick, doesn't it? And this goes to show I don't really use normal paints much at all, really. But yeah, the brush was like kind of crusty. Oh, there we go. 38 minutes away. Nick, is where you are from me. Yeah, because my go-to beach is Southsea. Go there lots. Yeah, take the kids down there. Go down there for walks. We go down there and do the old crazy golf down at Southsea. The old crazy golf pirate. So that's always fun. Rusell, you're diabetic and the slap chop methods helped a lot because your eyesight has really deteriorated. Yeah, again, obviously I wear glasses, but I know the ones I've got aren't the correct strength, which is why, yeah, slap chop, it's very forgiving. So you get great results without having to be too fine. And again, that's what I was saying. The more detailed your miniature, the better slap chop paint works. As in, you really get the sort of the difference in the three sort of tones of the paint. Whereas, yeah, big panels, it's pants for. Yeah. So what is it you're doing again, Nick? Just out of interest, you're going down there? Because I think I've missed or I forgot what you're doing down there. So, yeah, well, Nick, my email's down below, mate. If you want to send me an email saying what it is you're doing. So the only game I play is Kill Team. I don't play like Warhammer 40k, the full sort of game. But obviously, main reasons I kind of think. One, I like smaller armies. So even with the Kill Team, my go-to is I prefer 6-man teams to, well, anything else. But I have had to go with the Custodes. I mean, they were awesome. You only need 4 of them, but they are just like walking tanks. I just love them. Yeah, so this is definitely going to need a couple of coats of paint because I want it to look like yellow. Even though I say I'm going to do stuff afterwards, but it does feel weird though painting and then thinking I've got to do things to it afterwards. Whereas with the slap chop speed paints, you just put the paint on, job done. Obviously, you can go back and add highlights and edge lighting and all the rest of it, but you don't need to. I mean, that's what I like about the slap chop. You can paint a miniature really quick. And then if you want to spend more time, you can. Or you could just job done. But if you want to go back 3 months later and do some highlighting, edges and all the rest of it, you can. And that's why for me, you say the slap chop really is, it's the way to go. None of you play properly. Well, funny enough, I was about to say, Nick, I only play Kill Team with my mate. We do the rules, but there are some rules that we're a bit loose on, or we do our own version of the rules to fit the game. Yeah, so I've never really played properly, and even like with the actual game itself and like capturing objective markers or that sort of thing, we don't do that. We do capture the flag. So I've got my board, and what we do is we have the flag in the middle. We have it randomly set up with obviously door before they play into the dark. So we have the doors and the walls and all the rest of it. We roll a dice to see what corner we start in. And then we basically play it so by the end of round or the end of turn 4, well, the end of the game, if the flag's moved more into someone's area than the other person's, then they win. So we don't do any like point system or any of that kind of stuff. It purely is we play the game to move the flag into the opponent's territory, and that's kind of like how we finish it. So yeah, so when it comes to rules, what did we do the other day? Oh, we were playing the other day, and what teams did he have? I can't remember what he had, but his team, when they die, he can use a CP point to buy not in death or something, and it basically turns him into a zombie. So my guy had rushed him, was fighting him, killed him, he turned into a zombie, and then my guy can normally move to the next opponent in the same turn. But because he was still engaged in a fight with his guy, he couldn't. But then we had, not an argument, we like both said our side of the story. But when you use this, whatever it is, in death thingy, you turn into a zombie, you can shoot, you can move, but you can't fight. So I was saying that if he can't fight, he's not a valid target. So obviously I was fighting that way because I wanted to move on to the next person. But then he was saying, because I was still engaged with him, that I couldn't move. We looked online. Obviously, you go on Reddit, and sometimes everyone's got their own version of what they want the answer to be. It's where sometimes the rules aren't very clear. There's a lot of grey areas. So in the end, we rolled a dice. I think it was 1, 2, 3. It went in his favour. 4, 5, 6. It went in my favour. But then what we did do, whichever way it went, that's how we played that rule all the time. So yes, there's quite a few rules that are like that, where if we've not been able to find a definitive answer, we've come up with our own answer, and that's what we then stick to. So yes, I'd be no good playing in a competition or, well, against anyone else, because say some of the rules that we play possibly aren't the correct rules, but we feel they're correct for us. Anyway, that's enough waffling about that. Susan, I got you back into doing miniatures. Oh, that's awesome. I must admit, I love it when people put comments on my videos saying that they've got back into the hobby after 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, because of watching my videos. I just find that so nice. I love that. Because I'm an empath, so my emotions sometimes can go all over the place. Not all over the place. They can be heightened, which is why well, the good thing is I can get easily pleased by things. The smallest things make me laugh, and yeah, people putting like a nice comment really makes me feel like really heartfelt and, well, almost teary. But then obviously the other side of that is someone could put a comment that isn't negative, but I just take it to heart and see it as being really bad. But yeah, I can't help it. But yeah, so yeah, when people put comments about getting back into painting for watching a video, yeah, it just makes me feel so good. But yeah. Carl Black, yes, there is a Discord channel. I don't think I've put it in the links for a while though. I'd have to try and dig it out. I kind of set one up, I don't know, a year or two ago. Didn't know much about Discord, so one of the chaps that used to come onto a lot of the live streams, Smoyne, he set up, well, he sort of set things up and did things and made different channels and all the rest of it. Funny enough, kind of coming back to me being an empath, I started using it quite a bit to begin with, but then it grew really quick, as in there's like 200-300 people using it quite a lot. And because there was so many different channels, there was so much going on, I kind of got a bit overwhelmed because there was just too much. It's not like sensory overload, it's just, I don't know, there's some things it's difficult to explain. But the bottom line story, long and short of it, you know what I mean. I stopped going on Discord because I just couldn't, there was just too much going on. So yeah, so there is a Discord. I don't go on there, but loads of people do, which is really nice. And again, that's the thing I love about this hobby, is that everyone's very happy, very chatty, shares what they do, and yeah, it's a lovely environment. So I kind of wish I did use the Discord, because it would be good to sort of hang out and chat with people. But then because there were so many different folders, chat rooms, whatever it's called, yeah, it just became too much. So I do keep contemplating making another Discord channel, but just having it as just one channel and not have like subfolders or subsections. So I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, just having like one channel and you just go on there, you put your comments. But yeah, but again, I might find that gets too much. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. Again, it's hard to explain, because the other thing is 1 minute I might be feeling some way, and the next minute I could be feeling something different. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, back to painting. Oh hey, become a patron. There's less people there, so there's less chatting, so I find it easier to talk there. If that makes sense. Susan, you know empath emotions all too well. Is that yourself or a partner? Yeah, well, the weird thing is I only found out I was an empath a few years ago. Well, as in, I only found out about empath because when someone first sort of started talking to me about it, and they sort of said, "Oh, I think you're an empath." I thought they were good. I always thought something like an empath was someone off Star Trek that can move things with their mind. But it's only when I was chatting with them, and so I'd never met them before. They were like a friend of a friend. But it's only when they sort of mentioned it, and then I went home and I looked up empath, and obviously it sort of goes through what they generally are or how they feel. And it's one of those things where you look them through and you think they're writing this about me because everything I tick the boxes. But the good thing is it kind of explains a lot about how I react in different environments. And in fact, I've always been a person that I don't hate big groups. I'm just better off one-to-one with people. And the reason is when there's a big group, there's so many like emotions. You get people who are really happy, then people who are sad, negative people, and my emotions just go up and down all over the shop. And that's why I obviously definitely associate with people that are happy, because I'm always happy. I don't need much in life, and yeah, I'm easily pleased sometimes. So yeah, so that's why I'm better off with small groups rather than big groups, just because in a big group there's too many kind of emotions going on. And yeah, I'm definitely not good with negative people. They just bring me down, so I'd walk away politely, obviously, because I'm also very polite. But yeah, I'm waffling on now. We're getting on to different stuff and not this. Right, so I think that's pretty much the yellow. It says, is that the yellow? Yeah. Could do with another coat, but I'm going to let that dry because it does seem to take a while to dry. So what I might do is I'm going to do the black on some tyres and then come back and do another coat of yellow. So again, this is the other weird thing. Using the speed paints, one coat will do ya. None of this putting two coats on. And before anyone says, no, I've not watered down my my paint. I've not thinned it down. I'm not using a wet palette. I'm being a rebel. I'm going straight in from the pot. No messing. Getting it on. Oh, look, I've got more paint on my desk. Man, my lovely desk. It's getting all messy. Trash boat. I spent part of my weekend completely cleaning and reorganising your hobby space. Oh, awesome. Even sorted your bits. Fun enough, I've got loads of bits box because I'm now buying lots more miniatures. So as much as I want to make miniatures like how they're meant to look, as in this sort of dude, I love how he looks. I really do enjoy kit bashing and just changing them up and making them different. So yeah, so I am now buying sets to purposely sort of cut up and use to make, well, whatever I want to make out of them. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. Now you feel like you can focus and get a lot of paint. Again, I don't know if this is the empath or just me in general. I like a nice clean work environment, as in everything's got its place. So I'm sitting here now, I've got all my speed paints in front of me. I got some D&D paints over that way. To this side I've got loads of contrast paints. To that side I've got lots of normal Citadel paints. And yeah, I like things organised. I don't like mess either. I'm very much a clean as you go kind of guy. Unfortunately my kids aren't that way. They're more a leave a mess, dad'll come round in a minute and pick it all up. Which I do, obviously. But yeah, I know what you mean about having things organised and nice. So I've just recently organised an area where my 3D printers are. I brought some racking, so I've got my 3D printers, because that's the other problem. Again, I always say this in my videos, I am a one-man band. I'm in my living room at a desk. I don't have a fancy studio. I don't have a shed or a garage or anywhere I can do stuff. I am sitting at a desk in my living room, and space sometimes is a bit of a commodity I don't really have. So yeah, so in the past I've only been able to really have one printer out. Again, I'm not gloating about having several 3D printers. I'm just very fortunate having this channel that companies send me 3D printers now for me to sort of try out. And whenever they sort of message me and sort of say, oh, we've got this printer, it's a new one, do you want to try it out and obviously show it on your channel? I can't say no. because they want to send me something for free, and it's like I don't like turning free things down. But it does then mean I've got quite a few printers and nowhere to put them, or I can only have like 1 or 2 out at a time. So yes, I got some racking system the other week. Well, yeah, last week. So I've got my printers and my wash and cure stations on it, and I just love it because I think it looks really good. Say again, it's a simple little thing, but it makes me feel really good having several printers out that are working. That's what I say. I've got a printer working. There's a wash and cure system. There's a separate, actually. I've got a separate wash and a separate cure. So it's almost like having a production line. Something's printing, something's washing, something's curing, and I love it. That's why I'm printing out, say, loads of these because I want to make sort of small dioramas with miniatures that can be like put into the diorama, but then taken out and used in, well, whatever game they're in. Anyway, I feel like I talk a lot, don't I? Although the weird thing, I don't know why I said that. It's not like you can actually talk back. Obviously, I can read what you're saying, but yeah, it's not like you're talking back to me. Susan, yourself. Yeah, I'm sure you've told me this. Again, memory like a sieve, but now you've said that, it does seem to ring a bell. Yeah, so again, when you know you're an empath, you do sort of, you know where to go and where not to go, because you know what's going to make you feel low or what's going to make you feel really good, which is cool. Right, so I'm going to paint some wheels. I think these tyre tread thingies, or tank treads, I think they're going to be black, because then the wheels are going to be silver. Yeah. So again, not sure how much I'm going to get painted now. It is just a case of, what is the time now? It's only 6 o'clock, so we've been going for about an hour. Yeah, so I reckon about another hour. What's that, 6, 7? Yeah, another hour and a bit, maybe. It's hard to say. So you're kind of messy-ish in your organisation now. Save it for 3D printer. Yeah, any cubic. I mean, again, they've sent me quite a lot of printers. Well, about 6, 7. I'm not sure. So yeah, and I've never really had any problems with printing, or any problems that I have sort of had with printing. It's generally been my fault. Not my fault as such, but it's more the supports. Which is why I love getting miniatures that are pre-supported, because they just seem to work so well. It's like on my latest video, the guy there obviously got the miniatures professionally supported by a company that does supports, and they just peel off. You don't get failed prints. And even my printer settings, I have my printer settings on the basic printer settings that come with the printer. I've never ever printed off a test print. I've always just set it up, leveled the bed, put a USB in the side of an STL in it, and yeah, I just printed things straight away, and I've never really had problems. I'll better show them video in the black. So yeah, so I've 3D, as in resin printers. Yes, this is the difference as well. Resin printers never had any issues. Filament printers, hate them, absolutely hate them. And I would say the main reason is because of the quality, as in resin printers for small items, so much detail, so much definition. Filament printers, obviously great for big terrain pieces, but not good for miniatures. But that's not the issue that I have with filament printers. My issue is when you get them out of the box, some of them only require a little bit of assembly. I did have one a year or so ago. There was lots of it you needed to assemble. But then you assemble it, then you've got to try and level the bed, and because their bed has like 4 or 5 of these different sort of things to level it, there's a lot of tweaking here and there, which takes a long time. And then the actual printing, I've only had a few filament printers that have actually worked, and even then they only seem to work a little bit, and then the next day they just fail all the time. So that's the reason why I don't like filament printers, because they're just hard work, or I've been unlucky. But then I've had 4 filament printers, so obviously I've been unlucky 4 times. Whereas the resin printers, I've never had any issues with any printer that's been sent to me. Yeah, they've always worked really, really well. And funny enough, I think there's two new companies. So the printers I've got so far are from Anycubic, Oh, I'm going to be video, aren't I? Anycubic and Elegoo. And yeah, never had any problems. I think Frozen are sending me a printer soon. And there's another company. I've got it written down somewhere, but I can't remember what they're called. And they're sending me a 3D printer soon as well. So yeah, be good to sort of see how I get on with them. Right, let's show this. That's what I've done. And obviously, again, show my little 3D holder and the fact I'm using a black. And we can just start painting. So again, at the moment I am purely just getting on base colours. Once everything is painted in the base colour, then I'll do some, like, maybe some washes, but definitely some highlights, maybe some dry brushing over the top. Whatever I think is necessary, really. Again, just going to have fun. Because as you can clearly see, this isn't getting slap chopped. So yes, again, with the YouTube's analytics, algorithms, all the rest of it, it'd be interesting to see what happens when this video is made and edited and all the rest of it. Because somewhere in the title, I am going to put something about the fact this isn't slap chopped. Because I know if we put slap chop in the title, it generally gets a few more views than if you don't. So, but the fact I'm going to be writing slap chop or not slap chopped might help it get views or might make it get less views. So again, this is where it's really hard to say what happens with YouTube. But it's all good fun because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Trashbreak can't wait to start printing. Yeah, honestly, when you get a 3D printer, I mean, for me, it is. I feel like I'm a kid in a toy shop. Because say I go on Thingiverse first. Thingiverse is always my first port of call because everything is free on there. So whenever I'm looking for something, that's where I go first. If not, then I go to was it My Mini Factory, because you can type in free items, so it'll only come up with free items, or you can go on there and you can obviously pay and buy STLs. I think the other one is Cult 3D. But yeah, the fact you can just sort of go on, type something in, download the file, and then depending on how big it is, you can print something off within like an hour or two. And again, especially with the resin printers, the fact that you can put, I mean, what have I got? I've got the Anycubic Photon Mono X2. So it's got a nice big build plate, and I think you can give out like 20 odd miniatures on there, so you can print them out. So obviously the time it takes for a printer to print is the height of the tallest thing you're printing. So if they're all the same height, so you can print one sort of miniature out in say an hour and a half, or you could print 20 out in an hour and a half. And that's what I really love about that printer. The fact that you really can print loads of things at once is just, yeah, just amazing. Carl Black, Cult 3D is your favourite place to look. I think if you're looking for Warhammer stuff, or Warhammer equivalent stuff, or stuff that's not related to Warhammer in any way, but might look like it, yeah, Cult 3D seems to be the main sort of go-to place. But it's also obviously where Warhammer is quite hot on, and they do sort of close things down or get things removed quite quickly. So yeah, so the other thing people always say is if you go on Cult 3D, if you see something you want, you're better off getting it straight away, because if you go back there the day after, there's a fair chance that good old Warhammer has taken it down. Or sorry, Games Workshop's taken it down, not Warhammer. Yes, I say the 3D scanner that I've got. So I'm going to be scanning my head in just because I want to make a little mini me into a space marine. Is there anything you guys would want to see me scan with the 3D scanner? Obviously, normal things, not naughty things. Just in case you were going to go there first. Because I am considering scanning in a Warhammer miniature. Obviously, I know that's illegal, IP and all the rest of it. But maybe I could scan something in and say this is what you're not to do. Do you reckon that would work? So like put a big disclaimer at the front. Don't scan Warhammer miniatures with your 3D scanner. But then do it, but saying this is what you're not meant to do. Or this is what you're... Yeah, don't do this. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, the black is going on really nice. So the yellow definitely going to need a second coat. But yeah, the black is going on. Oh, it's going on lovely. It's like I bought these paints. I don't know, a good few months ago. That, as in just normal paints, not contrast, not speed, and I've not used them. So it's quite nice using them. Feels weird using a normal paint, I must admit. But say we'll see how it goes. You watch. I'll probably do the video, but it'll be completely different to how it looks now. I'd have filmed all this, and I probably would have thought, nah, don't like that, and then like painted it black, dry brushed it, and then painted it again. So you never know. This might be slap chopped in the end. I hope it's not, but yeah, we'll see how we get on painting it this way. Because it does feel weird. But again, that's the other reason I love Slapchop. It's just so quick. The fact that you literally just paint whatever you're painting once, as opposed to me painting this, then doing some sort of like wash or highlights, edge highlights, stippling, whatever I need to do to get it to look how I want it to look. Whereas Slapchop, yeah, bosh, one coat, it's done. Move on to the next, please. Carl Black, how dare I imply you're all perverts? Well, I must admit, it's where my mind went first. Yeah. Carl, I think you're not profiting off the... Yes, this is where there's a huge big grey area. Because when I started this channel, again, when I started this channel, I was looking up like normal orcs because I love orcs, but the orcs with a C. So my plan was to make dioramas using the sort of Dungeons and Dragons kind of orcs. But I went onto Amazon to look up orcs, and it brought up loads of Warhammer stuff. So that's kind of how I got into the Warhammer stuff years ago. So I bought a few miniatures, and then I had to go, say, because obviously I like trying new things. So I had to go casting miniatures, as in like making a little mould of them with silicon, the silicon stuff, and then casting them in like plastic resin. So I did that, not knowing it was illegal, because obviously I bought the miniature, so surely I can do whatever I want with the miniature. So yeah, so I made obviously copies. Yeah, I made copies. So I think I had to channel about 4 or 5 weeks. I did this video where, again, say I took a Warhammer miniature, made a mould of it, and then cast sort of several other figures. Wasn't going to sell them. They were purely for me just to sort of see how well or easy it was to make a mould and cast miniatures. Had to channel, say, 4 or 5 weeks. Got an email from Games Workshop lawyers. Cease and desist. It was like, what? What have I done wrong? Yeah, they wanted me to take the video down. Obviously, never to do it again. Otherwise, well, I don't think they threatened anything. I think they just said it would go further if I didn't. So yeah, so that's where this whole... You call it a grey area, but it's not really a grey area. well, not in the eyes of Games Workshop. Yeah, it's their IP. You don't do anything with any of their miniatures. Even if you've bought the miniature, you can't make copies of it in any kind of way, even if it's just for personal use or any of that malarkey. So yeah, it was really bizarre. Yeah, to get this like formal letter asking me to take the video down immediately. I did, which is a shame though, because that obviously, because I did something that was wrong, as in making a mould and cast of miniatures. The videos did really, I think I made a couple. They did really well because obviously people wanted to see just how easy it was to, well, make moulds and cast Warhammer miniatures. But yeah, it was just bizarre that they wanted the video taken down straight away. So I think I did actually make another video where the casted sort of models I made, I burnt them. So yes, if you look at one of my old videos, as in from about 2 years ago, you'll see me burn some miniatures, and I think the thumbnail says something about no miniatures were hurt in this video, and there's a little arrow pointing to one that's clearly on fire and says except this one. Because yeah, because that was they had like 2-part resin. You obviously mix together, stir, and then pour in, and that stuff, it burns well. Toxic, like a lot of stuff. But yeah, so that was quite funny that I then made another video that did quite well of me burning the miniatures that I'd made, just to prove that I wasn't doing it in any kind of way to make money, to sell them, or do anything with. It was just purely because I wanted to go doing like 1- and 2-part moulds. Again, because I like trying new things. Pentathan, don't blow my cover. GW could see this. Well, again, I don't think I'm in their good books. Because recently, well, I say recently, a couple of months ago, that's going to fall out again. Yeah, a few months ago, I did message Games Workshop to sort of see if they wanted to send me any miniatures for me to do videos with, as in like a collaboration. Never heard anything back. So I think I must be on their blacklist because of the videos that I made years and years ago. But hey ho. Gary Gaglon. Do I ever switch the size of my paintbrush when painting bigger parts of your mini? Save you smaller brushes for the small detail. Just saying. Yeah. I have a whole variety of brushes, I'll have to admit. But no, I'm kind of just using one and I'm plodding along using one. But yes, I do have other brushes that I could be using. But no, I think the other problem is I'm sat here waffling to you guys and I hadn't even considered changing brushes. If I was here painting on my own, yeah, I may have gone to a bigger brush. Do I care? Not really. Hey, painting, it's all about the journey, not the speed, he says, as he likes using Slapchop method because it is about the speed. But yeah, I could do this with a bigger brush. I won't now though. Underdog Painting, hello there. Hope you are well. Watching your videos recently, I want to get back into making videos. I've had a 3-month break. Is that just because you got bored of what you were doing, or you lost interest in it? So that's something I'd always say with anyone who wants to do YouTube, whether it's for fun or to try and make money from it, definitely do something that interests you. So I've had the channel now, I think, is it June or July this year will be my 3 years having this channel, and I've pretty much posted, say in the past it was like every week. There may have been like a few times where there might have only been like 2 videos in a month, but say this month I'm doing a video, or trying every sort of 2 days to do a video. And I think the only way you can keep consistently doing videos is by obviously doing what you enjoy. So rather than thinking, oh, what videos or what channel could I do that would get views, yeah, do a channel where you're doing something that interests you. So every time you are making a video, you're making it for fun. Obviously you're always hoping it's going to get views and all the rest of it, but yeah, you need to do something that's fun if you're going to do it consistently. Ping, I hope you know you have to do the airplane from Dastly and Muttley in their flying machines after this. Not too sure. Although something I am looking at doing, no, I can't really show you anything because I haven't got anything printed out. Oh, pardon me. I've just found a file of a go-kart. I want to amend it and change it and do bits to it. But yeah, I want to do some orcs driving go-karts, but make them look like what is it? Is it Mario Kart? Yeah. So I want to do orcs in these go-karts and then kit them out like Mario. Yeah, so I mean that'd be quite fun. Again, it's about trying to find things to do and make that are basically put a smile on my face when I'm making them. Hopefully, obviously, look good once they're made. But again, say now I am using eBay to, well, sort of sell the things that I've made, because in the past, well, obviously two main reasons for that. One, obviously financial, selling the bits to make money so I can then buy more stuff and food and cookies. But again, the other reason for me is back to my old story. I'm in a flat. I don't have a lot of room. I make things. They get put on a shelf. Well, they start off on my desk. Then they normally move to a shelf or sort of a cupboard unit thingy. Then they get put into a cupboard when there's other stuff made. So a lot of my stuff ends up in a cupboard, never to be seen again. Again, the only things I would play with is kill team stuff. Anything other than kill teams, I don't play. Obviously, I like miniatures. I like making them. I like painting them. But play wise, yeah, it's only kill team stuff that I play with, which is why now say anything other than kill team is now going on my eBay account to be sold. So yeah, it's two reasons. It frees up room, and obviously the obvious one, it brings in some money. Yes, I don't know if anyone's interested or if you remember seeing it, but the Warhammer 40k chess set that I've made, it's currently at Folkestone at Chaos Cards, the game shop down there, but I will be going and picking that up soon, and I'm going to put that on eBay. The only problem with the chess set is it's quite big, it's very heavy, so I don't know how well or not that would sell. So first things first, if you haven't seen the videos, go check out the videos. There's quite a few, because I did it over quite a period where I was obviously getting the figures, converting them so they're like pawns, kings, queens, rooks, all the rest of it. And then I made the board. So it's quite a big chunky board with lights underneath, so it lights up. I think it's pretty cool looking. But yeah, so that's, again, long story short, I'm going to be looking at selling the chess set. Again, just to sort of free up room and to give me some money to buy more stuff. So yeah, if anyone's interested in the chess set, if you don't already know what it looks like, check out my earlier videos. But yeah, keep an eye out on my eBay sort of selling page, because it will be going on there soon. All I say, I need to drive down to Folkestone to pick it up first. I need to get earbuds that stay in. These ones just seem to keep falling out. Patrick, hello from Sweden. Hello to you. Hope you're well. You're painting Mosrog at the moment. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed painting that one. That was, yeah. It was a cool miniature. So that's another thing. I'm trying to get more different miniatures as well. I know, obviously, I love orcs. I love Space Marines. Again, I can't quite reach them, but I've just recently bought quite a lot of, say, bosses for the 40k sort of world, whatever it's called. Yes, I'm going to be painting them soon. Just sort of vary up what I'm doing, just so it's not all orcs, he says as he's holding an orc. But yeah, obviously it's fun to try different things, different looks, and different sort of painting colours and all the rest of it. But yeah. Do you enjoy it? Exactly, it is. Say that this is it's a fun hobby. It's, yeah. If you're not having fun, then find a different hobby, I guess, or change things up. Again, I think that's why a lot of people are getting back into. Oops, sorry about the mic there. A lot of people are getting back into painting because of the slap chop thing. Just because it is easy, it is fun, it's fast, great results. And I think for a lot of us, the two key factors there are the speed and the ease, isn't it? It's just it's easy to do, it's fast, and the results, yeah, I mean, they're not like well, no, I don't know. I was about to say they're not mind blowing, but sometimes I look at some of the figures that I've done, and it's like, wow, that just looks so better than anything I would have ever done. It's like the first thing I painted was the Orc Commandos, and honestly, when I painted those and they were finished, I couldn't believe that I had done them. There was like 10 miniatures. Is it 10? I think it's 10. So in the past, I would have never done 10 miniatures at once because that would have just taken me weeks. But yeah, 10 miniatures. I think I did them in a space of about 3 hours, 2-3 hours, and I just love how they look. I think they were amazing. So yeah, good old slap chop. Yeah, so with this, I have made or starting to make the base. So again, even though I'm obviously doing a bit of kit vashing and converting, I want to make these things that go still on the sort of the same base. So again, this will go on my eBay. If anyone wants to buy it, please buy it. So yeah, so the base I'm making for him, I'm going to keep it fairly simple. I'm going to paint the top so it looks like a road, and then do like a yellow sort of stripe down it. And then obviously this is just going to be like gravel underneath. So he's going to be sort of going up as though he was about to sort of take off because the road has sort of part collapsed. So again, keeping the bases fairly simple, but kind of like on theme of what it should be. And yeah, having fun with that as well. So Daka store has some cool minis. Oh, okay. Is that like what, STL ones or proper Warhammer Games Workshop stuff? Hand of Femis. Speaking of eBay, recently started picking up some really cheap toys and minis from a Chinese seller. Oh, okay. Use some D&D with little to no cleanup, make for really unique models. Oh, awesome. So I must admit, I've never really used eBay. Oh, pardon me. So I am very much an Amazon chap. I should really use eBay more to buy miniatures and stuff. But yes, I think I've had the eBay account for about a year. I think I used it in the past to buy magnets. I think that's the only thing I've really bought off eBay is magnets. I think yeah, that was for the Warhammer 40k chess set. Yeah, because I used quite a lot of magnets in that. So yeah, so basically with the Warhammer 40k chess set, say the underneath lights up, so you can see it through the grills on the top, and all the pieces they're on clear bases with a little magnet in them. So all the pieces are magnetized. So you can pick this base up, turn upside down, things won't fall out. I love magnets. I mean, they're awesome. But yeah, go check out my chess set if you haven't seen it. So they turn out great. Slapshop has made your stuff awesome. Yeah, I love it. You want speed paints for when you paint this? Oh, so the McFarlane toys. I want to get them. They look cool. Just because obviously they're nice, they're bigger, they're posable. But yeah, they do look pretty cool. So are you getting one that's like not painted, or are you getting one that is painted but you're going to repaint? Either way, it's going to be cool, whatever you do. So Gary gagging on, how did you like fighting the Grey Knights in the kill team? Yeah, I say I've been playing Legionnaires or Legionaries, whatever you want to call them, for the last, I want to say about 6 or 7 games, and I think they've only lost one. But yeah. So it was the Grey Knights. So Gary, that's the one where we had this dilemma, where one of my guys rushed in. So was doing fighting, like hand to hand, whatever, in combat range. Fought the Grey Knight. The Grey Knight died. Then it paid 1 CP to do that. Is it not in death? There's something they can pay for, and basically they don't get removed straight away. They turn into a zombie, and then they get, if they haven't been activated, they get one more go. we had a bit of an issue, whereas my guys can rush in, attack someone, they can then move, I think something like about 3 inches. If there's someone else within 3 inches, they can attack and fight someone, kill them, and then move on to someone else, just to sort of tie them up. So we had that dilemma of, well, you can't really move because you're still in engagement range with this zombie. But then we had a bit of a chat and a bit of a discussion of the fact that when you do this in death, whatever it is, they can move, they can shoot, they just can't fight. So that's when we had the discussion of, well, if he can't fight, then he's not a valid target. So even though I am in engagement range of him, the fact he's not a valid target means I can disengage and move off. And we looked on Reddit and we couldn't find a clear answer. Well, in fact, not only did we not find a clear answer, we found a lot more weird and wonderful things we hadn't even thought about came up. So that's why I say in the end we did the old roll the dice. 1, 2, 3 his favour, 4, 5, 6 it goes in my favour. But then say when we rolled the dice, whatever we got, that's what we do from now on. So that's what I say, with Kill Team, a lot of the rules that me and my mate play may or may not be the 100% accurate ones, but we play it for the enjoyment. And I say obviously we stick to the same rules. And yeah, I love Kill Team. I love Kill Team as much as I love painting miniatures. It's just a fun game. So generally it lasts an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So once a week mate comes round, we have a game. Awesome. Right, so the tyres black. Oh, the back bits can be black. So the McFarlane thing isn't painted then, Susan. So you get to do it. Your kids got it for your Mother's Day gift. Oh. She knows you well. Awesome. Hand of Femis, dollar store, cheap toys on Amazon. Come out for good models with a bit of creative kit bashing. Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously, where I'm obviously in the UK, we have car boots, as in a car boot sale. So it's normally a big open field, loads of cars selling their junk. I love walking around them. So it's on a Sunday. Get up nice and early, drag the kids round. Bit of fresh air before we come back, stay indoors and play Xbox games for the rest of the day. But yeah, I love going around those sort of places because you can buy cheap toys that are just perfect for cutting up and changing into whatever it is you want to do. Just having a quick look at what needs to be painted on the back. So this looks just that bit. Although this is where I need to be a little bit neat. So I'm going to do the yellow again. So I need to be neat, but not too neat. So this is where it really does feel weird painting with normal paints, knowing I've got to do more stuff afterwards. Yeah, slap chopping is a lot more fun. Where's the time? 1:30. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to go on till about 7. Just because I feel a bit hungry. I've not eaten this evening. And say I just want to get some of the paint on here. Say it primarily is purple, black, bits of yellow. Although the yellow is more of a yellowy green. I didn't really have a yellowy green, so I've gone with the normal yellow. But what I'll probably do with these is I have got a green wash, so I might go over them with that. I'm not sure. Again, when I'm painting, as much as I have a rough idea what I'm doing, a bit like life. I have a rough idea what I'm doing in life, but don't like planning too much. Well, yeah, I don't plan too much. Sometimes it's just nice to enjoy the moment and not think about what I'm going to be doing later on, as in this and in life. But yeah, so yeah, 7 o'clock I'm going to sort of stop painting and then go and have something to eat. Probably a jacket potato, beans and cheese, because I love jacket potatoes, beans and cheese. especially as I've got vegan cheese. And it's really nice vegan cheese as well. Cool. Yeah, obviously it's going to look a lot better once I start painting him, because there's a, well, even looking at him, there's not really a lot of colour of him, because his jacket is the same colour as the vehicle. His hat is, it almost looks like there's a kind of a purple and red stripes. Obviously he's going to be green. The weird thing is, Muttley, the dog, is also a green. So I've already picked out the colours I'm going to use. So I am going to use Death Guard green for Muttley. Seems weird, but say the dog is kind of a green looking dog. And then Auric Flesh is going to be the first colour I use for the Orc. But again, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, or I've only just recently started doing, and that is like highlighting and edge highlighting. So that's why I say with this, I really am just going to get all the base colours on first, and then we start to make it look a little bit better. But so there will be quite a bit of colour here and there. There's going to be quite a bit of silver, obviously for the exhausts, some of the weapons. There's a lot of obviously extra panels that I've stuck on. They're going to be a bit more colourful. Because I don't want it to look all purple like the original Mean Machine, because it is kind of like a bit. So plus it's orcs, you need colour. Colour or rust is what I think you need for orcs. So it's going to have a little bit of those. Right, so these bits are right to the edge, and then say up to where I've done the yellow. But yeah, this is certainly a nice black. Say I've used quite a few other blacks before, just sort of like random ones, Vallejo ones, and I've always found the black to be obviously black, but a bit wishy-washy. As in, quite often you need to put two coats on. Whereas this black, considering it's going over a dark purple, is covering really, really well. So yeah, I kind of like it. Susan, you can have vegetarian hot dogs. Hot diggity dog. Stuart Perry, nice paint job. Cheers, buddy. Say it's very simple. The reason this isn't being slap chopped, so anyone's just turned up, the reason this isn't going to get slap chop painted is because I use my airbrush to paint most of it in the purple. I use the Army Painter speed paints in the airbrush. This is what I was saying earlier. Speed paints, when you've got a miniature that's got a ton of detail, awesome, comes out really, really well. When you're painting big flat panels, speed paints aren't very good. Just because some parts of it will dry quicker than others, especially like the larger it is, the worse it will look. Because as you're painting, even with an appropriately large brush, as obviously I'm not painting with a large brush, I'm painting with a small one. Yeah, some of it start drying, so where you then start getting some areas that get like a second coat, they will be darker than areas that have got one coat. So yeah, speed paints and large flat panels is, well, it's going to look naff. So that's, again, that's why I thought I'd go airbrushing. Plus I want to use the airbrush more because, well, I've had it for about 6 weeks. I only used it for the first time the other day, and yeah, really loved it. Lots of fun using the airbrush. Bit of a big old learning curve, but like most things, that's the fun bit, is the learning, the trying out new things. Again, this is where I do really like slap chop. With this miniature, I reckon slap chopping it, I would be done in, I don't know, a couple of hours maybe. Painting it, it's going to be at least double that, because it's going to take a good couple of hours just to get all the base colours on, and then do the highlights, edging, any washes, and all the rest of it. But say, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to have fun, and whatever comes out, comes out. Plus it's orcs, you can't go wrong with orcs. Hand of Famous, he started using the acrylic craft paints from Amazon. Still use them. Well, that's it, yeah, because obviously these brushes you wouldn't, or these paints you wouldn't use for like big items. So that's why I do have, like I say, the cheap, the old kids like acrylic ones. So yeah, I have quite a few of these. But these really are. So if I try to use this on this, you'd do about 3 or 4 coats of this. But when you're painting like big terrain, then yeah, it's always good to have the good paint, the sort of the big paints, the cheap ones. Susan, you want to try the old airbrush? Yes, I wanted to try one for ages, and it's a lot of fun. Plus, I've got like the starter set. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it comes in that nice big sort of metallic case. And the good thing is, everything comes out, everything goes back in its same spot. I know sometimes when you buy stuff, they pack it in so well, and when you take it out, it never ever goes back in how it was originally. Well, that starter set I've got, and again, apologies, I don't know where I got it from. My memory's like a thingy. But if you check out the video where I use the airbrush, you'll be able to see where I got it from. And yeah, everything goes back in really easy. Everything you need is in that one case. It's very simple and easy to use. Very simple and easy to clean, which is obviously another big factor. Obviously, getting good at using it, that's where time and practice will come in. But yeah, the starter set, it is just, it's awesome. Getting there slowly but surely. Again, sometimes I paint and I just sort of go off into a little bit of a wibbly wobbly world, which is why I kind of love painting and model making. It's just fun. Yeah, so the problem I've got now is now I've started talking about food, I am just feeling a little bit hungry. So yeah, definitely 7 o'clock. I'm going to be stopping and making myself something to eat. And carrying on probably watching Harry Potter while doing some, well, more painting. Earbud again, slipping out. Oh, turns it off now. DKBP, just looking to say hi to you. Quality painting has skyrocketed. Slapchop, yeah, love slap chopping. Obviously this is airbrushed, and obviously now going to be normal paints. But yeah, slap chopping, it's just, I know people sort of say, yeah, game changer, but it really is. Slap chopping has certainly been a game changer for me and many people, just because it's fast, easy, and great results. And in fact, it gives you the confidence to paint more, and the enjoyment of painting more. Because say when you paint with a slap chop, or in my experience, when I paint using a slap chop method, I know whatever I'm painting is going to come out looking good. Obviously not golden demon thingy what's it good, but definitely good for me. And that's the main thing, being happy with what you do and being happy doing what you're doing. And yeah, Slapchop definitely gives me that. Steve just woke up. That's old Nick. Well, I must admit, I do occasionally have a good old power nap in the afternoon. Well, not really the afternoon. I think mine's more of a midday, sort of 12ish is when I'd have a power nap. I hope you're well, Steve, buddy. I'm on for about another half an hour or so, and then I am off to have something to eat and to carry on watching Harry Potter. So far today I've seen Harry Potter 2 and 3, and I'm about 20 minutes into Harry Potter 4. Obviously seen them all before when they first came out, but yeah, I seem to be having a bit of a Harry Potter well, megaphon. You can't see what I'm painting. I know it's invisible. If you're an orc, this is... Oh, sorry about hitting the mic again. If you're an orc, this is invisible to you. Yes, it seemed quite appropriate making Dick Dastardly's Mean Machine into an orc vehicle. It's nice and stealthy. Stealthy with some Dakar on it. Susan's changed her mind. You have rice, veggie meatballs, and red tomato sauce. Well, I'm still going with my jacket potato, beans, and cheese because that's all I've got in the flat at the moment. I need to go out for a shop tomorrow to get some bits in. So yeah, my choices are limited to what I'm going to be eating today. Oh, earbuds falling right out. No music now. How long we got left? 15 minutes. I think I can cope 15 minutes without music, he says. You need to make a food run as well, Susan. Yeah, I think I've kind of started with the boring bits to paint on this first. I say boring, as in lacking in colour. I mean, once the black's done and start going around doing all the silver bits, I think that's when it's going to start looking a little bit nicer, because obviously they have more colour. Yeah, obviously I'm looking forward to having to go doing his face green, because obviously I won't be slap chopping it, so there's no speed paint. I'm going to be using normal greens, so that should be quite interesting, because I haven't painted an orc with normal colours for don't know, quite some time. Okay, so I've been slap chop painting for about the last 7 months, 8 months, in quite a while. Yeah, so my plan was to actually get this thing all done this week. I'm not sure I'll be doing that now. I'm not sure at all. I mean, mainly because, say, if this was slap chopped, say 3 hours, I'll be able to get this whole thing done quite easily. But because obviously doing normal painting, and there is a lot more to it, and having to let paint dry, and then doing, say, highlighting and edge highlighting, and maybe stippling, some washes, because there's a lot more to it, I think I'm going to be doing this in more stages. So yeah, so I've got several other projects that I'm kind of doing this week. So every week now, over on Patreon, I am doing a video every Monday, and can't even talk. The video that I do every Monday is basically going to be sort of showing and going over what I'm going to be working on for that week. So yeah, so if you are here and you are a patron, go over there and have a little look. You'll be able to see the video, and you'll be able to see exactly what it is I'm painting. Obviously this, but other things as well. Right, well that's most of the black bits. Oh no, these bits here, the wings have got black. I will get them done. What's the time? 10 to. Yeah, so I'll be able to get these bits done, and then that'll be all the black done. And then say I can then have a break, have something to eat, and then I might carry on with this. Obviously not in a live stream, just when I'm watching Harry Potter. Harry Potter. But so there are a few other projects I'm kind of started and doing, and I may be doing a bit of those as well. Or I might not do any painting, I might just watch Harry Potter and get some things 3D printed all ready for me to paint tomorrow. But yeah, I am looking forward though to say doing the it was doing this that then made me think about doing Mario Karts with orcs. So that's why I've found I found a go-kart on Thingiverse, but I want to change it. It's a bit of a boring, plain looking one. Also I want to add on a bigger engine, add some DACA, obviously, because it's going to be orcs. And then yeah, I'm going to make some orcs look like, well, the Mario Karts. So there'll be Mario, his brother, Donkey Kong, the princess, there's a Toad, isn't there, or something? Yeah, I'm not sure what other ones are in there, but yeah, I fancy doing about six different Mario Karts with orcs. But again, what I might do is put them on the same size base as this, just because then they could be used in Warhammer, the 40k, as they're on the right size base. Obviously that's why I want to put some DACA on them. I might do sort of similar kind of bases to this, with like roads that are broken up or explosions or whatever. But But yeah, so again, it's just gonna be fun doing doing orcs in little go-karts, but with big engine and some weapons. The Baptist, for some reason, I don't look like you expected. I don't know, is that good or is that bad? Or just indifferent? Obviously, I'm hoping. Well, I don't know what I'm hoping actually. All right, the Baptist. Let me know, what was it you were expecting to see? Someone younger, older, slimmer, fatter? I would say shorter or taller, but I'm sitting down so you can't really tell. Yeah. What were you expecting? I say it has gone really quiet. It's like my earpiece has fallen out. I've got no music in my ear now, and it just feels crazily quiet. Well, I can hear the cars every now and then outside, but there's not a lot of traffic at the moment, probably because everyone's at home. Just indifferent, no insult intended. I didn't think there'd be an insult there. Again, I was just wondering what you had in mind. How did you visualise what I look like? I guess because obviously when you see my videos, I mean I am in some of my videos, but not by a lot. Obviously all you get to see is my hands. Yeah, I don't know if you can gauge what someone looks like by their hands. So I'm kind of guessing it was more my voice that that gave you something to to visualise, I guess. The Baptist did think younger. I've got young hands then perhaps, or maybe I should be a hand model. Do my hands look young? Well, I was saying that, dare I ask, how old do you think I am? Right, so that's that one. It's got to do. Oh, there's a little. There's like a black trim that goes all the way around the cockpit. It should be in black, which I will do, and we'll do. Yeah, we'll do this one. So say I'm going to finish at 7. Mainly because obviously I'm hungry. But yeah, done a couple of hours. Are you seeing me in some of the thumbnail videos? Yeah. So there's a couple of videos where I'm in them. Not many. Kind of don't really feel the need to be in the videos. Obviously the live stream, then yeah, I think it's worth having me here just so you guys know that it's live. Because I have done a couple of live streams where I didn't do the face cam, just the hand cam. And for some reason, when people don't see your face, they think it's not live. So there's like quite a few people put comments of, oh, it's not a live stream, it's just pre-recorded footage. To which I obviously then say their name and say, oh no, it's not. They're like, oh, he is here. So yes, that's the only reason I kind of have my face in the videos. It's certainly not to improve them in any way or make people watch because I'm there. It's just because, yeah, people seem to then associate seeing someone as it being live. And when you don't see them, clearly it's not live. Right, so the other thing, these kind of like wing bits are meant to be kind of like spoilers over the wheels. So these are black. So say as much as possible, obviously this is going to look as similar as it can to the original Mean Machine, but obviously whilst still being an orc, well, kit conversion sort of thing. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to when I start painting some silver on this, just to add a bit more of a lighter-ish colour. But again, because I am doing highlights over the edge of this, I'm kind of starting with the dark colours and then going over it with doing highlighting, edge highlighting and all the other stuff. Right, last little bit I'm going to do, there's a little bit of black trim going around the cockpit he's sort of sitting in. And then, yeah, I'm going to sort of finish off there. My voice sounds younger, obviously. Well, the thing is, again, I say obviously because it just feels obvious what I'm talking about because you can see it. So, yeah. In general life, I don't always go around using the word obviously all the time. Obviously. But because I'm talking about what you can see on the screen, then obviously just sort of comes into my head because it is obvious. Mid-50s, yeah, spot on. I am mid-50s. Don't quite know how I'm going to try and do all the little concept. So that's the thing I love about Warhammer Games Workshop miniatures. There's a lot of definition, a lot of detail, and I love it. But sometimes they put detail in areas you just can't really get to. Obviously, I know you could paint bits of this separately, then assemble afterwards. I kind of like making things difficult and assembling everything at once, and then trying to paint it and see how I get on. But yeah, his little cockpit. There's so much detail in there. Loads of little dials. Let's even like his watch. Again, I haven't got the original box or the assembly, but in the original box there's a good picture of his watch, and obviously nicely painted, and you can see the handles, hands even. Oh, pardon me. And yeah, it just looks awesome. But obviously for me to try and paint that is like having a laugh, aren't they? Obviously, I will try, obviously. But yeah, don't hold up too much hope on doing the sort of same kind of detail they have, so especially in his watch. That's just nuts, the amount of detail they put in to painting it. Right, last little bit. So guys, any last minute questions you want to ask me, by all means go ahead, because I will be finishing very soon. Usual thing, I kind of thought I might get more done, but then I also knew I wouldn't, because when I'm doing a live stream I don't get half as much done as I would if I was just sitting here painting. Obviously it wouldn't be half as much fun though, but there we go. Yeah, going to tidy up the back bit, say the yellow bits at the back, even though on the screen they don't look too bad, they are a little bit wishy-washy, so they will get a second coat. I will tidy up the where the black and the yellow meet. But yeah, so for the yellow and black, that is kind of pretty much it. I say it just needs a bit of tidying up, and then yeah, go on and do some silver bits, and then some try and paint the Orc green. And I say, and Muttley, who, looking from the reference picture I've got, he's a kind of a green as well, which is kind of obviously a weird colour to have for a dog, but I guess out of the colours they were using, they just thought that was a good colour scheme to do Muttley, I guess. I don't know. Baptist, before you go, thank you for the content. Cheers, buddy. You enjoy it and been helpful. That's good. I say I like trying new things out, so a lot of the stuff I'm doing is new to me. I mean, I know obviously with the painting and the slap chop and Grizel and underpainting and all the rest of it, some of it's been out for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, but obviously if I'm just coming across it, then it's going to be new to me, and the fact that I can do something and people take something from it is just amazing. So I started this channel nearly 3 years ago. It was during the second lockdown, purely as a way of keeping busy, because I can't not do anything. It's like I've not sat and just watched TV and not done something else at the same time for, I don't know, years and years and years and years. Yeah, so I like to be doing things while I'm watching TV and all the rest of it. So yes, that's why I started this channel. So the fact that people get sort of anything out of what I do as being useful is just amazing. The fact that it's got people back into painting because of me doing Slapchop, again, is just awesome. I just love that. And yeah, I'm just having fun and trying new things out. But yeah. Yeah, so this vehicle, again, I forgot what it's called. I have not got the book or the box. Most of this is the original vehicle. The only bits that I've added are this huge big bit at the back, the big old thrusters. So this whole chunky bit at the back was 3D printed. This little bit that goes over him is 3D printed. That's 3D printed. The rest is as is, with one exception. Because this is our scrap jet. That's what this is called. Because obviously it's meant to be a flying vehicle. So these bits here did come out like little wings. Not very far, but like little wings either side. So I cut them back. Oh yeah, the bit at the back I took off, and these little bits here were on the back. So as conversions go, there's not a lot done. And that's why I think when I looked at this vehicle, it made me think of the Mean Machine from Wacky Races straight away. So that's why in my head I was thinking I don't have to do much to it to make it look like the Wacky Races one. Steve, can't believe it's been 3 years. We look younger. I would say I had more hair. No, my hair kind of went mid-60s. Mid-60s? Mid-20s. I'm old, but not that old. Yeah, mid-20s my hair kind of went. But hey-ho. Yeah, guys, cheers for being there. I might do another live stream this week. I don't know. It kind of varies on how I'm feeling, what I'm doing. Because, again, I love doing live streams. But if I'd been painting this on my own, just sitting here, it's what, 2 hours it's taken me to do. Not a lot. I would have done what I've just done in, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. So I do love doing live streams. But sometimes when I want to get a project finished or done or something painted, it is obviously a lot quicker and easier for me to do it not in a live stream. So that's why when I do a live stream, I'm painting something that doesn't need to be done quickly. Because when I live stream, it doesn't get done quickly. But anyway, I'm waffling. I'm going to go because I want to put something in the oven as I'm hungry and I need to eat. So yeah, guys, all have a great week. Love what you're doing. Have fun with it all, because I know I'm certainly having fun with everything, well, everything I'm doing. So yeah, guys, you all take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.